for Team IGO, and we focused on accessibility for cyclists in the city. And sort of our overarching goal was to strengthen the weave of the entire bicycle network by repairing specific gaps. And there were 3 things that we did to address that. And the first was actually making very subtle changes to the signage. And that had its own barriers. But the signage itself we were able to do by following city protocol, by cracking open the bylaw book, and actually pushing every boundary that we could in that bylaw book to get our sign made. So we were able to make our sign bigger, we were able to make changes that hadn't been done before, and we were actually able to break the assumption that the same way things had been done was the same way to move forward. And that was sort of the blessing of our insight, to come in and shake things up a bit and show from our perspective and our research that there's an easier and more clarified way to deliver that information. The second part of our project was sort of a whimsical factor. I had a little bit of a manicure today I have white spray paint on my hands right now. And that sort of speaks to the intensity of this program. But for our project this morning, we were putting on what we call our family-friendly bicycle terrain stencil. And we were able to do that this morning. And then come into the space and then talk about our experience. And that's a very live response for us. So we were able to do that today, and we were approved to do that from the city. So it's about as close to graffiti I will ever get in my life that I'll say on camera. But that's something that it means a lot. And then the third aspect of our project that we're doing with CityStudio is we have presented our site as the #1 location for a pilot for something that is called a lane advisory bike lane, something that the city was looking at doing in a different location, but because of sort of the professionalism of our proposal that we brought forward, we were able to shift the thinking that has a much larger ripple effect than we thought. So that's what our project was. But perhaps maybe what my role to speak to as an individual and also as a team member had different aspects. I think, sort of looking at my notes, that I'm very much more task driven and task focused. I'm deadline focused. I'm big picture impact focused. But I learned that was a strength that's balanced out by other team members' strengths beside me. That we learn very on how to work with each other and how to have those check-ins, and that it's a really great partnership. That especially in some of the early work that we did, we labeled Team Michelangelo, which is my partner Mike and myself Angela, that I kind of go 4 times the speed, and Mike's really good at bringing it back maybe 2 times, but together we're going double speed nonetheless. And that's sort of a positive reinforcement moving forward, that if you find that partnership, real work gets done, and it's done in a really fun way that you get to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So I would say that that's my experience and what I did with my